Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, keeping secrets is really human nature. Here to explain why those secrets could destroy your life, we welcome the co-author of The Skeleton Code, a satirical guide to secret keeping, Ken Massey. Good to have you with us, Ken.
Thank you for having me.
Why did you decide to write this book about keeping secrets?
Well, I'm afraid to tell you it's because I was a secret keeper.
Yeah, and what do you mean by that?
Well,
did you realize it was destroying you?
Oh, absolutely. I was keeping some significant secrets.
Would you like to tell us a few?
Well, I can tell you one.
Okay.
I was a minister for 35 years, and I had a very difficult experience with my oldest daughter, who has a mental illness. I felt like God had given up on me,
Yeah.
and so I stopped believing in God. And you know, it's a little difficult to be a minister and to not believe in God.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's kind of tough.
I was hiding from my
Yeah.
congregation that my faith was in crisis.
Wow.
Because it was too dark.
Yeah.
But not all secrets are that dark. I mean, some secrets are kind of silly. Like
Right.
there's a lady at the retirement center where I volunteer who is a staunch Republican and is going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but she can't tell any of her Republican
She's
friends.
keeping it a secret.
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Why do we keep secrets?
Oh, well, you know, part of it is because we live in a success culture, right? And,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and so the way you get ahead in this life is to be perfect or to appear perfect. And just like kids on Halloween dress up and pretend to be somebody else, that's what we do. We dress up and pretend to be somebody else because you don't get any points for having difficult experiences or difficult feelings.
You heard the saying, the truth will set you free, and you talk about some secrets being more toxic than others.
Yeah, the most toxic secret is the secret you keep from yourself.
Right.
The one that you're not willing to face about yourself. Because when you keep that kind of secret, it's like a ball and chain that you drag around. One of the key characteristics of a secret that you're hiding from yourself is that you tend to attack it in other people, the same thing.
Oh,
So,
give me an example.
well, since you can't deal with it, we'll just look at our political campaign. It's all about finger pointing and scapegoating, because if you can't deal with it internally, what's going on with you, you tend to see that thing in somebody else and then attack it there and diminish it there and judge it there.
Okay, so for instance, when we see like somebody comes out and says they're gay, finally admits to themselves they're gay, you can see a sense of relief overcome them. I mean, they're just like, finally I can talk about it. And then there are people who will attack gays, and then you find out later they were gay.
Right, right.
So that's a perfect example of what you were saying.
It is, and I have to give kudos to the LGBT community because they have exhibited incredible courage in coming out at great personal and professional risk
Right.
at times, especially the early folk. And what they can teach us is that coming out of the closet, whatever your secret is the best way to live. If you ask any of them, they would not regret
Right.
having told that secret.
Because touching on that, you say that once you release a secret, it's a great teacher.
That's right. That's right. And Mark Twain said that if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a very good memory.
Yeah.
So you don't have to remember all the things that you've covered up as you go along. But
That's what I believe about little white lies. If you tell little white lies along the way, you're going to forget somewhere, and you'll never be able to.
And they're going to become bigger,
Right.
not so white lies. That's right.
Why is it that we relish when someone's secret is exposed?
Yeah, something about us wants to do that stepladder thing to get ahead, and stepping on other people is a typical way that we do that. We put somebody else down, we lift ourselves up, it seems like. But
Well,
that's not what...
isn't it when someone at least finally admits a secret, we feel like more in common with them?
Well,
like
yes.
they admit they're human,
Yes.
and then we can say, whoa, now I really have more in common with that person I thought was absolutely perfect, is now more human than I actually thought.
Yes, but there's something in our human nature that does not want to take that risk. It's almost like a survival technique, where if we admit a failure, we risk something. And so we don't want to be honest, yet honesty is the way that we actually have relationship with people. If I keep a secret from my spouse, and 60% of spouses keep a significant secret from their spouse, if I am transparent with my spouse, then they are able to love who I actually am. If I put up a front, then if somebody loves me, they're not loving me, they're loving the face that I'm putting forward. And so you don't actually get to love when you keep a secret.
What have you noticed about people who are willing to do almost anything to protect their persona?
Yeah, many of them have physical symptoms. There is significant research out of the New York City University, Dr. John Sarno, about the physical implications of repressing difficult experiences and emotions. It can actually cause physical symptoms. I experienced this myself, severe sciatica down my leg, that when my secret was exposed, completely went away. Completely went away.
Oh, that's fascinating. And if you think about it too, why there are honest people out there, but they're not willing to talk about their failures or accept their failures, right?
Right. They can't, because in a lot of ways, as we see in a political campaign, to do that risk getting you where you want to go.
Right.
And no one wants to risk that.
Well, no one is perfect. Everyone has skeletons,
of course,
right?
Of course, absolutely. It is common to humanity. And so it's like Halloween. It's like a pretend game for children, because everyone has them. And actually, when I have found that I have been honest with people in a difficult way, that there's a way in which we connect that we could not connect before.
Right.
And I think it's the very thing you said, which is, since we all have this in common, it's a way of sharing our humanity.
Right, absolutely. The book is fascinating, The Skeleton Code. Thank you very much, Ken Massey. Great having you
Thank you
here.
for having me.
All right.